If you have been feeling tired in a way that no sleep fixes, with bloating after every meal and a strange itch at night, that pattern means something very specific in our tradition. And it has nothing to do with stress or hormones or age. Listen to me. In our tradition, we have understood this for many lifetimes that the body speaks in clusters. 3 or 4 small signs together always point to one thing, and the elders learned long ago what that one thing was. But your doctor will not tell you any of this. He will treat the tiredness with one prescription, the bloating with another, the itching with a cream, and tell you the dark circles are just from poor sleep. None of his medicines speak to each other. None of them ask why all 4 things showed up in the same body at the same time. Tiredness that no rest fixes, bloating that comes after every meal, itching at night, dark circles, all signs of the same hidden visitor that has been there for years. Most people who come to me have stopped trying to explain it to anyone because every doctor treats one symptom and ignores the rest. They lie awake at 3 in the morning scratching, with the heaviness still in their belly from a dinner they ate 8 hours ago. They tried the iron tablets, they tried cutting out gluten and dairy, they tried taking pharmacy probiotics every morning, and nothing changed the pattern. Listen to me. You are not lazy. You were never given the right diagnosis. The iron tablets did nothing because something inside you was eating the iron before your blood could use it. The food changes did nothing because the problem was not in what you were eating, but in what was eating with you. The pharmacy probiotics did nothing because the gut had been so weakened that the bacteria could not even survive past the first day. I am going to show you a simple boil of 3 things from your kitchen that loosens what is hiding and starts to push it out. Within 7 days, the bloating will calm and you will see for yourself what has been there. There is one part almost every person gets wrong, and if you miss it, the heaviness comes back within a month. Before we go further, leave a comment with your age and how long this cluster of symptoms has been following you around. I read every single comment on this channel. Now let me show you what is happening inside. To understand why this works, you have to understand what your gut is supposed to be doing in the first place. Picture a long river running through the middle of your body. That river starts at your mouth and ends at the other end, and along the way, it passes through dozens of small towns. Each town has guards at the gate. Each town has cleaners that sweep the streets every night. Each town has a wall around it that keeps out what does not belong. When you are young, that river runs fast and clean. The guards are alert. The cleaners do their work every single night. The walls are strong. Anything that tries to settle and live in the river gets carried away in the current, or stopped at the gate, or removed by the cleaners before morning. That is what the body does when the gut is healthy. The river itself, the bile from your liver, the acid from your stomach, the rhythm of the muscle that pushes food along, all of that is the body's first defense against anything that wants to live inside you. And the guards at the gates are the good bacteria. Trillions of them, lining every wall, watching every visitor that tries to settle in. But here's what happens with age. After 50, the river slows down. The stomach makes less acid, sometimes half as much as it did at 30. The liver releases less bile. The muscle that pushes food along moves slower, especially at night when you are sleeping. Food that used to pass through in 18 hours now sits for 30 or 40 hours. Things that used to get washed away now have time to find a corner and settle in. Then the second thing happens. The walls of the river start to thin. The lining of your intestine, the very surface that keeps the inside of you separate from your blood, that lining gets weaker with age. Small openings appear where there used to be none. Things start to slip through that should never have been allowed in. And then the third thing, the most important thing, by the time you reach 60, the average gut has lost roughly 50% of the beneficial bacteria it had at 30. Half of the guards are gone. The ones that remain are tired and outnumbered. The wall is thin, the river is slow, and the guards have walked off their posts. The body has become a welcome house for anything that wants to settle in and stay. This is where it goes deeper than most people understand. The gut needs 3 things to keep itself defended, and all 3 have to be there together. Think of it like a garden. You can have the best seeds in the world, but if the soil is dry and dead, nothing grows. You can have rich soil, But if there is no rain, the seeds just sit there. You can have rain falling on bare ground and it just washes away. The first thing the gut needs is the good bacteria themselves. The seeds, those are what we call probiotics in the modern world. The second thing the gut needs is the food those bacteria eat, which is fiber from plants. That is the soil. Without that fiber, the bacteria starve no matter how many of them you have. The third thing is what those bacteria produce when they eat. When the good bacteria feed on the fiber, they release healing compounds that calm inflammation, repair the gut wall, and strengthen the body's defense. Those are the postbiotics. That is the rain that makes the garden grow. You need all three together: the seeds, the soil, and the rain. If any one of them is missing, the garden fails. And by the time you reach your 60s, most people are missing all three at once. The bacteria are gone, the fiber is too low because the food has been processed to death. And without those two, there are no healing compounds being made at all. This is the soil where uninvited guests take root and stay. As long as the gut stays in this weakened state, the body keeps producing the very condition that lets them live there. You can flush them out with a strong pill, but in a clean week or two more come to live in the same welcoming soil. The bloating, the tiredness, the itching, the dark circles, all of it is the body telling you the river is slow, the wall is thin, and the guards are gone. As long as the inside stays this way, the symptoms keep coming back no matter what you do on the surface. Now let me show you the boil. This is what the women in my family have used for generations when the body shows these signs. You will need three things: 3 whole cloves of fresh garlic, 1 whole organic lemon, not the bottled juice, the actual fruit. And the third thing is 1 tablespoon of whole cloves, the small dried brown buds you have in your spice drawer. The garlic is the first medicine here. When you crush a fresh garlic clove, it releases a compound called allicin. That allicin is what gives garlic its strong smell and its strong taste. It is also one of the oldest known defenses against parasites and bad bacteria in the gut. It has been used for this exact purpose for thousands of years across many cultures. The allicin moves through your stomach and into your intestine, and it disturbs the protective coating that parasites build around themselves to survive in the gut. Without that coating, they can no longer hold on to the wall. They start to loosen. The lemon is the second medicine. Whole lemon with the peel, because the peel is where most of the medicine lives. The peel contains a compound called D-limonene, and the white pith just under the peel is rich in pectin. The D-limonene works on the fatty outer layer that worms and other parasites use to protect themselves from the acid in your gut. It breaks that layer down. The pectin works differently. It is a soft fiber that swells in water and forms a gentle gel inside your intestine. As that gel moves through your gut, it picks up debris, it picks up what has been loosened, and it carries it down and out. The lemon also makes your gut slightly more acidic for a few hours, which is the environment that uninvited guests cannot survive in for long. Margaret is a retired school teacher from Cedar Rapids, Iowa, 73 years old. She came to me last spring after 2 years of feeling like a different person. She told me she used to be the one who hosted every family dinner, and now she could not get through one meal without her belly swelling so tight she had to unbutton her pants at the table. She was waking up at 2 and 3 in the morning with an itch she would not describe to her own doctor. She had lost the spark in her eyes. She told me she felt like she was carrying something heavy inside her, even though every test her doctor ran came back clean. What was overlooked in her case was the cluster. The doctor saw 4 separate problems. I saw one. We started her on this boil twice a day, morning and evening, with the seal at the end, which I will explain shortly. Within 3 weeks, she told me her bloating had reduced by about 70%. By the 2nd month, the itching at night was gone. She called me from her kitchen one morning and said, "I made breakfast for my grandchildren today, and I sat down with them and ate the whole plate, and I did not have to unbutton my pants once." That was her moment. The third medicine is the whole cloves themselves. These small dried buds contain a compound called eugenol. Eugenol is what gives cloves their warming taste and their numbing feeling on the tongue. It is one of the strongest natural compounds against the eggs that parasites leave behind in the gut. This is the part most cleanses miss completely. You can flush out the adults, but if you leave the eggs, they hatch within 10 to 14 days and you are back where you started. The cloves are what break the eggs. The garlic and lemon handle what is already living there, and the cloves handle the next generation before it can grow up. Here's how you make it. Take 3 cups of clean filtered water and bring it to a boil in a small pot. While the water is heating, peel and crush your 3 garlic cloves with the flat side of a knife. Crushing them and letting them sit for 10 minutes before they touch the heat is what activates the allicin. This is important. If you drop whole garlic cloves into hot water, you get garlic-flavored water with very little medicine in it. You need to crush them first and let them rest. While the garlic rests, take your whole lemon and wash it well. Cut it into 8 pieces, leaving the peel on. Set it aside. Measure out 1 tablespoon of whole cloves. Once the water reaches a strong boil, turn the heat down to a low simmer. Add the cloves first and let them simmer for 2 minutes. The water will start to turn a light brown. Then add the lemon pieces and let them simmer for another 3 minutes. The water will turn cloudy. Then turn the heat off completely, add the crushed garlic, and put a lid on the pot. The garlic should never boil. Boiling kills the allicin. You want it to steep in the hot water with the heat off for 5 full minutes. After those 5 minutes, strain the liquid into a mug. You should have about 2 cups of strong brown tea with a sharp smell. Drink 1 cup warm on an empty stomach in the morning, at least 30 minutes before you eat anything. Drink the second cup in the evening, at least 2 hours after dinner before you go to bed. Do this every day for 14 days. Then stop for 1 week. Then do it again for another 14 days. The break is important because of the egg cycle I mentioned earlier. In the first week, you will notice the bloating start to calm down. Some people see things in the toilet within the first 3 or 4 days. Do not be alarmed. That is the body doing exactly what it is supposed to do. By the second week, your sleep will start to deepen. The itching at night will begin to ease. The dark circles will start to lift. By the end of the first round, the 14 days, you should feel a heaviness lifting from your whole body. Some people describe it as feeling lighter on their feet. Some describe it as a clearer head. Margaret told me she felt like she had been wearing a heavy coat for 2 years, and someone had finally taken it off her. This boil will quiet the 4 symptoms within 14 days. The bloating will ease. The itch will fade. The tiredness will lift. The dark circles will start to clear. But here's what every person needs to understand. The symptoms will come back if the gut stays in the same weakened state that welcomed them in the first place. The boil handles what is already living there. The gut is what decides whether the next generation finds a home or gets swept right out. The boil flushes the house. The gut is what locks the door. And the way I tend my own gut every single day, the way the women in my family have for generations, is with kombucha. Because the gut needs 3 things to do its work: the good bacteria, the fiber that feeds them, and the healing compounds those bacteria produce when they eat. Most things give you only one of these. Kombucha is one of the few things on earth that gives you all 3 at once. And it is those healing compounds that calm the inflammation, repair the gut wall, restore the bacteria, and stop the body from welcoming in what started this whole problem in the first place. I make my own kombucha at home because I have the time and the knowledge. But for everyone watching online who can't brew their own, I give BoochBod kombucha gummies. The link is in the description, or you can search BoochBod kombucha gummies on Amazon. Now let me tell you the part of the boil almost every person gets wrong. After they drink the morning cup, they go straight into their day. They eat breakfast within 15 or 20 minutes. They drink coffee. They take their other supplements. They move on, and then they wonder why the bloating eased a little in the first week but came back by the 4th week. They wonder why they did the full 28 days and still feel only slightly better instead of fully changed. The mistake is this: after the morning cup of the boil, you have to wait. A full 45 minutes before any food, any coffee, any other liquid touches your gut, not 15 minutes, not 20, 45. Here is why this matters more than you can imagine. When you drink the boil, the compounds from the garlic, the lemon, and the cloves move into your stomach and then into the first part of your intestine. Their work begins in those 45 minutes. The allicin is moving through, disturbing the coatings, The D-limonene is breaking down the protective layers. The pectin is starting to swell and form its gentle gel. The eugenol is moving in on the eggs. All of this is happening in a quiet, empty environment where the medicine can actually reach the walls of the gut and do its work. The moment you eat breakfast on top of it, you flood the gut with food. The medicine gets diluted. The acid level changes. The pectin gel that was forming around debris gets broken up by the new food. Worst of all, the body's attention shifts. The gut stops working on the cleanse and starts working on the digestion of your meal. The window of medicine closes early. You get maybe 20% of the benefit instead of 100. This is the mistake I see again and again. People are in a hurry. They want their coffee. They want their breakfast. They take the boil because someone told them to, but they treat it like a vitamin and not like medicine. And then they say it did not work for them. The right way is this. You drink your morning cup of the boil. You set a timer for 45 minutes. During that time, you can drink plain warm water if you need to, but nothing else. No coffee, no tea, no food, no juice, no supplements. You let the boil do its work in peace. After the 45 minutes have passed, you can eat. You can have your coffee. You can take your other supplements, but not before. The evening cup is slightly different. Because you are taking it before bed, the gut is naturally going to be at rest for the next 8 hours. You do not need a timer for that one, but the morning cup is where almost every person fails. They give it 15 minutes and call it good. And then they wonder why their results are half of what I promised them. I have had patients come back to me after their first round, disappointed. They tell me the bloating eased, but the tiredness is still there. The first question I ask is, how long did you wait after the morning cup? 9 times out of 10, the answer is 20 minutes or less. I send them home and tell them to do another round with the full 45-minute wait. They come back 2 weeks later and tell me it is a different boil. Same ingredients, same amount, same everything. The only difference is the wait. That is how much the timing matters. What you are really protecting is the simple thing of sitting down at your own kitchen table with your family, eating a full meal, and feeling light and clear in your body when you stand up afterward. It is never too late. The body at 70 and 75 and 80 still knows how to clear what does not belong inside it when you give it the right help and the right time. If this video has helped you, subscribe to the channel so the next one finds you. I make these videos for the people who have been forgotten by the clinics, and the only way more of them find me is when good souls like you bring them along. Share this with your sister, the one who has been hiding the bloating and the tiredness for too long. Tell me in the comments which one of the 3 ingredients you didn't expect and how long this cluster of symptoms has been with you. I read every single comment on this channel. The BoochBod kombucha gummies I mentioned earlier are linked in the description, or you can search them on Amazon whenever you are ready. Until next time.